Look, I know this is not professional grade video here, but I was here today at the title company with Dave Kennedy, my favorite title guy of all times, who is a wealth of knowledge. And I wanted to talk to him today because maybe some of you have experienced this, but we are having a lot of issues on the state or the the state of Ohio clearing liens.
Correct.
For sellers and buyers, because a lot of it is because of common names. So, I'm sorry if your name is like John Smith, you're in trouble.
Right.
Actually, Dave Kennedy is kind of a common name too.
Right.
So what we're encouraging people to do right now, and I'm going to have Dave explain this a little bit more on why it's such a problem, is we're encouraging people to take title in their full name. So if I'm going to take title on something, it's going to be Amber Elizabeth Allred and not just Amber Allred. So Dave, please, I know you're so frustrated at all this, and I am so frustrated too, but tell us why this has been such a problem.
Right. Yeah. Life has been hard for title companies for the last, well, it's always hard for us, but but so essentially what happens is when you are selling your property, we have to do a title exam of your property. We're looking at the potential interest in that property. One of those interests are liens. So anyone can file a lien against a property for whatever. Sometimes
non-payment of something, like maybe you bought windows for the house, but you didn't pay them, or they didn't like the way you paid them. They'll put a lien against your property.
Correct. Also, but if you don't pay your credit card, or you don't pay your taxes, the government or any other entity can file a lien against your property.
Right.
They'll look up where you live. They'll see you own this property. They slap a lien on it. Capital One you owe Capital One $2,000. They put a lien on your property for $2,000.
And do you always get notified about these things, these liens? Sometimes you don't, right?
I think they're supposed to notify, but
that doesn't mean they do.
Exactly. And we get so much junk mail these days. Someone might not even know what that is.
Right. And I know a lot of people they check their mail once every 2 weeks,
right?
Right.
So we do a title exam of the property and we search this person's name. So my name's David Kennedy. And so if I took title as David Kennedy, we have to search David Kennedy. We have to search David A. Kennedy, David B. Kennedy, David C. Kennedy, and you go all the way through. We also have to search Dave Kennedy, any close names, So what it can do, though, is if you've got a common name, is it's going to pull in every lien against any person that has this kind of iteration of your name. So the problem is now for the title company is we have a problem because there's a potential interest in your property and those need to be cleared.
Right.
So what a good title company do is going to attempt to clear a lot of those liens. There's certain situations like we were talking about with a bankruptcy or a child support. What you can do is you can actually use the person's social security number and compare it against the person that's in that case.
Right. You can call Job and Family Services and say, hey, we've got this David Kennedy who says he owes $10,000 in child support. Can you check to make sure it's the same David Kennedy? Right. They just check their files, look that it's not the same social security number and say, nope, they're fine. So it's cleared.
Correct. Yeah. So we will clear those.
And those can get done pretty quickly.
Correct. Yep.
So where we're having the trouble now is with the state.
Yeah. So the state is the problem right now because if you have unpaid taxes for either a business or personally, just the state of Ohio. This is not federal taxes.
Right.
Federal tax liens, again, we can get those quickly.
Yeah, and local stuff too, really quick.
The state of Ohio, the Attorney General, if they file a lien against your property, in the past, what we do is we reach out to them and they would tell us within 14 days, they'll give us a response whether this is our party. And if it is our party, a payoff. So we know how much that they have to pay off. So
if it really is David Kennedy, who hasn't paid your taxes, they'll say, here's the amount that they owe and it has to be paid from the proceeds of the closing, basically.
Right. They're a lien holder and you don't want liens stay with the property, so they need to be extinguished before the new person gets it, or they're responsible for that lien.
Yeah, or they say, oh, this is not the same David Kennedy. Our David Kennedy is David M. Kennedy, whatever it is, right? So that used to take 14 days.
So then around October of last year, they started saying, well, it's going to be more like 20 days. Then it turned into...
Now, remember, a closing is usually 30 days or less.
Right.
So
then it turned into 30 days, then 45 days. Now, recently, the state is up to 60 days before they're giving a response.
2 months.
So this is a major problem that people are running into, not just my title company, but all the title companies around town, where we're getting all these state tax liens
that aren't even the person.
that it could possibly not even be, or even if they are our person.
Yes,
I think
taken 60 days.
It's unreasonable for someone to be able to, the state to lien your property and not be able to give you an answer within 60 days.
Yeah. I mean, or within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
If the federal can get it that
Yeah.
quickly and child support can get it that quickly,
Right.
and local can get it that quickly,
Right.
then why would the state keep it 2 months? Now, think about this. You're selling a house. You're buying another property.
Mm-hmm.
Now now maybe you're contingent on the sale of your property. You got to take the money from this one to put toward the next one. But now you can't even close this property
Right.
for at least 60 days
Right.
till they clear it. Even if you know it's not me.
Yep.
But
Yep.
if it's a large amount, then sometimes the title company have to escrow the amount. Now you don't have the money to, the proceeds until they clear it. The whole thing is just...
And sometimes you can't even escrow because there's not enough proceeds to be able to escrow.
Right, like if it's saying you owe
some derelict goes,
$100,000.
$45,000 and title company has to hold, multiple of that, then there might not be enough equity in the property to be able to even close with an escrow.
Your proceeds off the property that you're making may be $30,000, and now it's like
Right. Plus, your buyer has to agree to escrow as well. So there's another step that's involved. So bottom line is the state has a major problem. As title companies, we've reached out to the boards. So what I'm doing as a kind of a PSA is just trying to get this out to everybody. And if you have any influence with the local board or anyone, go ahead and start raising hell.
You can say it.
Yeah, because the Attorney General office has to do something about this. It seems to me that the problem is not improving, it's getting worse.
It's getting way worse.
So my question is well, what happens in the fall? Is it going to be 90 days? Is it going to be 120 days eventually?
This could have a huge, and is so far, having a huge effect on the real estate market in general.
Right. And just real estate, and the fact that, like Amber mentioned, a lot of transactions, there's a domino effect. You have to sell your house so the buyer can buy your house, then they have to sell
maybe
their
they're
house.
Relocating from another state. Like there's so many, as you know, there's so many things involved when you sell and buy a house. It's not just as simple.
And especially these days with the states needing money, is they're leaning everything. They're leaning $200, and it's a system that's broken. It needs to be fixed. And the only way to fix it is to get enough of the people to kind of raise hell and say that this is a problem and we need to have a solution.
I was saying it almost feels like it's like a civil suit waiting to happen. I mean, all these title companies almost need to
Well, we reached out to the Ohio Land Title Association, and they're applying pressure. Our title insurance underwriters are applying pressure.
Good.
But right now it's just coming from the title companies. I really think it needs to come from agents and just the general public, And then my other suggestion for people is two things. One, if you are going to be thinking about selling your property and you have a common name, start working on reaching out to a title company to find out if you have any liens against your name and have them cleared prior to you selling this property.
And always taking title. You may be
and then that was my second point, is when you take title with your name.
Full name.
At minimum, your middle initial. That way, you can at least, like I said, in my situation, at least get rid of David A. Kennedy, David B. Kennedy, David C. Kennedy, and so on. So it's something that'll help. It's still not perfect.
It's not a perfect system, but at least it will help.
It could eliminate some issues.
Right. So, dang, obviously we had a lot to say about this. So if you watch this whole thing, God love you.
Yes.
Okay. But help us to help you.
Step down off the soapbox now.
Okay, I love it. Thank you. And thanks for all your help.
Yep.
Best title company in the world. They're so great. So if you're not using them, I don't know why. You should be. All right, thanks.
Bye now.